hey, have you ever been in that situation where, and maybe this happened to you like in junior high or something like that, maybe high school even, where you got a crush on somebody and they don't pay attention to you. And in fact, sometimes you hear them being critical of you and you're so angry. And then you can't find anybody to listen to you talk about this person. So you go to the biggest loser you know who will give you a platform. Well, that is Tom Homan going on Louder with Crowder to complain about AOC. This is such a weird...
like a month's old thing, she said.
He's really focused on this because he blames her for drawing attention to how illicit the ICE has been in this instance. And also he blames her for letting people know what their rights are when they deal with ICE. Let's be clear. ICE, these people are not law enforcement. They're not. They are, they can deport people here, and it's a civil procedure. Unless you have been deported and returned, which apparently is a very small amount of people. But if you have entered this, and unless they can prove that you crossed the border illegally, as opposed to just not having documents, or as opposed to overstaying a visa, you have committed a civil infraction, functional equivalent of a speeding ticket. And they don't have authority to do anything other than to deport. So Homan's pissed about this because he's like the rest of his ICE force. They're all just sort of wannabe washouts from real law enforcement who were able, maybe they got a coupon from the Army Navy store and were able to buff up. That's basically what's going on. Now, if they bring somebody over from the FBI, which they do, they're even bringing over IRS enforcement to help them out. Maybe a different story, although in the capacity that they're operating, I'm not sure. But here is Homan showing up on Louder with Crowder. And Crowder, is it me or does it look like he's like done some work?
I don't know. It's been a while since I saw him, but he does look a little bit different.
He looks, honestly...
It's filler. They all have filler. They all have so much filler.
He looks like...
That's what it means to be a mighty manifesto.
That's
gender-affirming care.
He looks like he does in that... what was that guy? I can't remember the guy's name who did that animation of Crowder's Nightmare.
Oh, Eamon?
Eamon. He looks like Eamon's depiction of him in animated, but go ahead.
Well, look, AOC, she's the least smart congressperson in the history of the United States Congress. And she just don't get it. I mean, bottom line is she's out there saying, she's hating on me every day, which I kind of dig it because I get to live in mine rent-free every day, and I kind of enjoy that. Yeah. But she's saying she's all...
I mean, this is a government official talking about this. First of all, she's the least smart...
As this guy bumbles.
Okay, Einstein.
Yeah, I mean, gosh, it's hard for me to keep up with,
Benzo over here.
The slurring of his words. But, I just want people to pay attention to the fixation on AOC. It is psychosexual. It is really, really, I think, dark. And they monetize this right-wing fixation with her that is about her appearance, and it's mixed in with this undertone of violence. So we used to talk about rape culture back before it was too woke, but this is the kind of thing that makes women feel unsafe to be around all these right-wing freaks because they intermix their anger and their politics in with their, again, rampant misogyny. So that's what this is. And they do the same. Kamala's so dumb. AOC's so dumb.
Also, Kamala's sexual history they're fixated on.
That was her number one thing when she came into the. I remember when Andrew Schultz
Don't you know that male politicians
Yeah.
are
so chaste.
pure as the driven snow?
Well, Andrew Schultz, the comedian, the right-wing comedian, was saying, well, back in the day, the Democrats were the ones who liked to fuck, like Bill
Classic
Clinton.
bit.
Yeah, he was the man. But now, and they were against the puritanical right. But now Trump's the one with all the baby mamas, and he's having sex, and there's never even this like recognition in their mind. You think Obama could have come on and been like, I have all these baby mamas and won the presidency
God.
because of his race, but even of the gender. If Kamala had been bragging about all of her body count, like just the underlying misogyny in the way that they speak about female politicians is so striking to me. But
And coming from a guy that feels problematic to play him just expressing himself through language. And
it is
calling someone
objective
stupid.
that he is not as articulate as Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, and
100%.
there is no way you could argue otherwise.
I would also, I mean, aside from this, it's fascinating because I feel quite confident that she is in the top 3 percentile of
Yes.
intelligence of lawmakers.
Yep.
Congressperson in the history of the United States Congress, and she just don't get it. I mean, bottom line is she's out there saying, no, she's hating on me every day, which I kind of dig it because I get to live in mine rent free every day, and I kind of enjoy that.
Yeah.
But she's saying so she's in New York City, what she calls educating illegal aliens to their constitutional rights. You don't have to open the door for ICE. You don't have to answer questions, whatever. But we know what she's doing. We're not stupid.
Yeah.
She's educating illegal aliens on how to evade ICE arrest. That's what she's doing. And what you don't understand is
he hates that there's somebody out there saying that if ICE is knocking on your door, they need a signed warrant from a judge, not an administrative warrant, not an ICE warrant, a signed warrant from a judge. He hates it. He hates the fact that there's people out there questioning the authority of ICE agents to do. He hates the fact that he knows his ICE guys, if they go out, you've got people coming up and calling them scumbags because making them ashamed of themselves to the point where they actually have to wear masks.
And this kind of violence within border enforcement and ICE is nothing new. In 2019, ProPublica had this article where they found this old group with Customs and Border Patrol people where they were posting graphic images of Trump raping and sexually assaulting AOC. So I just want people to know like how fascism and all of this stuff and state violence is intermixed with interpersonal violence and like these feelings of empowerment that always come at the subjugation of another group. And the groups can transfer on an hourly basis about who they're going after.
I love life, living rent-free.
I feel like it. Just thinking about
Can you
it.
imagine like this guy is in charge of a major? I mean,
You're welcome. Say thank you, please. Obama pointing.
Yeah.
illegal aliens on how to evade ICE arrest. That's what she's doing. And what you don't understand is ICE is prioritizing public safety threats and national security threats.
No.
Who she's educating? She's educating child rapists. She's educating people who've committed armed robberies and committed rape and committed sexual assault. That's what she's educating.
he knows this is not true. He knows this is not true.
No, it's like the Emmett Till style, like sexual paranoia.
100%. And he's bringing up sex crimes. I know I'm a broken clock here, but it's just so incredible to me how you can see how upset he is and fixated he is on this. And
incidentally, ICE also, I mean, or at least the immigration policy of the Trump administration no longer considers rape and domestic abuse as a legitimate reason to seek asylum in this country.
Yeah, right.
And if you arrest people at courthouses, guess who's not showing up to press charges or to go to court dates? Victims of crimes who may be immigrants. Like, he doesn't care about this whatsoever.
No, he's using AOC as a hate object, like Emma says, because Greg Casar, leader of the Congressional Progressive Caucus, doing the exact same stuff, as I'm sure many other representatives are. But Tom Homan is too afraid to go at somebody like Greg Casar because he doesn't have that element of, we can titillate these men with how they hate women and because she's attractive. And instead, I'm going to have to talk to another man who they might respect more than my, I don't know what that cartoon character was, but that's what he reminds me of. I'll look it up.
Right. And I meant to say a broken record, but like this is also when they talk about protecting from criminals and child rapists, you are deploying plainclothes officers with masks on, not even officers, Gestapo, whatever the hell these ICE freaks are, going into schools. Like we don't probably.
There's a lot of those elementary school kids who going around with like
they grow up to be rapists.
They could, and they're taking lunch money.
They are like giving. This administration says the next 3.5 years. Basically, we are creating a built-in excuse for kidnapping, child rape, molestation, any kind of like grabbing people off the street. Again, just to return to like a bit of a feminist point, I think any woman that sees the way that these ICE plainclothes people come in unannounced, don't have a warrant, don't show an ID, and take somebody away, has that like inherent feeling like, oh my God, this could be an opportunity that I could be raped or sexually assaulted. This also is the same thing for children. And this is the administration policy. There's no oversight. It's completely lawless. And we have the Democratic leadership not even wanting to criticize the agency because they haven't dipped. Like Trump hasn't gone -20 yet without any leadership or messaging on their end on immigration. Like, how do we know, say some guy in a mask comes into a school and takes your daughter away? How do you know that that's an ICE agent or like the predator who's going to kill her or assault her?
Those Minnesota reps were assassinated by a guy doing exactly that.
Yeah.
Hey, folks, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and check out our daily show. We do it every day at 12 p.m. Eastern for about 2.5 hours. We even take phone calls. You should check that out.